It took just one password, and 158 years of history vanished overnight. Not to a war, not to a recession, but to a few keystrokes. This is the story of KNP, a titan of British transport brought to its knees by a single, devastating cyber attack. A cautionary tale of complacency, consequence, and the invisible war waged in our networks every day. Founded in the heart of Northamptonshire, KNP, better known as Knights of Old, was no ordinary logistics company. With over 500 lorries and a 158-year pedigree, KNP moved goods, connected cities, and anchored communities. Generations had worked beneath its iconic emblem. Yet behind the roaring engines and logistical mastery, the company faced a more modern battlefield, the digital frontier. Like many, it claimed to meet industry cyber standards. It even held cyber insurance. But behind that claim was an uncomfortable truth. Most businesses are only as strong as their weakest password. It began quietly, unnoticed. A group known as the Akira ransomware gang guessed the password of a single employee. With that, they breached KNP's internal systems, encrypting data, locking out staff, and leaving behind a chilling ransom note. If you're reading this, your infrastructure is dead. They demanded a ransom that could reach $5 million, a sum far beyond KNP's capacity to pay. Worse still, the company had no effective way to restore its operations. No off-site backups, no tested restorations, just silence. As KNP systems collapsed, operations halted. Drivers waited. Warehouses froze. Phones rang unanswered. Customers turned elsewhere. And finally, the company, once a pillar of British transport, entered administration. 700 people lost their jobs. Hundreds of families were affected, and it all traced back to one compromised credential. Director Paul Abbott made a quiet but haunting decision. He chose not to tell the employee whose password had been guessed. "Would you want to know if it was you?" he asked, a question that reveals the quiet heartbreak beneath the headlines. Cybersecurity experts were quick to weigh in. They argued this wasn't just a password issue. It was a failure of principle, of access control, backup protocols, and IT culture. Richard Horn of the NCSC stated,
"No
single employee should have access that can cripple a company." Cybersecurity isn't just a technical challenge, it's a cultural one. One expert put it bluntly, if your pastry budget is bigger than your IT security budget, you're already compromised. Despite cyber insurance, despite compliance claims, KNP was not prepared, and it was not alone. The KNP incident became a chilling reminder in boardrooms across the UK. In the months that followed, stories emerged of other victims: Marks and Spencer, Co-op, Harrods. Ransomware attacks rose to nearly 40 per week. Government agencies like the NCA and NCSC went into overdrive. But the pattern persisted. Weak passwords, poor backups, inadequate access controls. Experts began pushing for mandatory cyber MOTs, annual digital inspections for companies. KNP's director, now a vocal advocate, warned others, don't wait to be the next KNP.
KNP's story isn't just about one company's failure. It's about the fragility of modern business in a digital age. About how old institutions can crumble in new ways. It's a story of human error, systemic neglect.
In a world where ransomware is now a national security threat, one truth emerges. Digital defense is no longer optional. It's existential. Because sometimes, all it takes is one weak password.